guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, got an email from a subscriber. This is a young guy, he's 22 years old, just started law school, has his whole life ahead of him, and recently found out that his dad is not his dad. That he is a result of his mother having an affair, obviously 23 years ago, and his whole world is turned upside down. His whole world's turned upside down because now he doesn't know what to think. That now the guy he called father his whole life is not his dad. His brothers are obviously his half-brothers, and he's not exactly a big fan of his mom right now. So he's writing in asking my advice about various questions he has. Obviously looking for help from some of you guys in the community. And I thought we'd go over here because, I've covered plenty of stories on all three channels about guys finding out that their child or both their kids are not theirs. But I never covered one, at least I don't think I have, about a young guy finding out that he's the result of his mom cheating and his dad isn't his real dad, that type of thing. So I'll be going to go over here, and again, hopefully we can help this guy out. So any of you guys out there that maybe found out that your son or daughter isn't yours, and regardless, you loved him anyway, it'd be good to have you guys chime in to give this guy some advice here to help him out. Or any guys out there that found out that, you know what, your mom's a cheater, and your dad's not your real dad, your help as well, because that's what we do. We're here to help guys out. So he says here, hello, SSM. I am lost, and I do not know what to think or do. I'm a law student at Vanderbilt University, and my life was just turned upside down this past month. I do not know your channel very well, but one of my friends apparently listens to you and suggests that I write to you for advice. Well, shout out to your friend for recommending me. I've listened to a few of your stories and find you kind of misogynistic, which is probably warrant me a smack, but I don't care. I just need help. Well, bro, since you are going through a tough time and you're obviously hurting, I'm going to let that shit slide for a moment and address that whole thing at the end of this story, because you're not the first or the last that will say that about me, and I will certainly prove you wrong. And smack for fucking saying that. You'll learn. I've learned through the stories I have listened to you that your listeners love to hear the full story. I'm 22 years old and just started law school at Vanderbilt this past year. I graduated from high school at 18 and got my college degree this past May. Congratulations, brother, on graduation. Congratulations on law school. I got into Vanderbilt Law School and I met an older medical student at medical school and we started dating. A gal in the medical field. Well, watch more of my videos. You got to watch out for them. But hopefully you got a good one. This past 4th of July, she flew down to my hometown in Mobile and to meet my family and had fun on the Gulf Coast. My dad, who is the best dude I've ever known, I want to mention this part here. He says my dad's the best dude he's ever known, is a very well-to-do construction company owner, and is your very typical southern redneck. He said this, not me, guys, okay? But full of life, and everybody loves him because he's just a good dude. I say redneck because Southerners love to be called rednecks. Okay, now let me make that clear. He is what you would call a man's man. He's outgoing and funny, very loud, but the most generous man that I know. He always has a carpenter's pencil between his ear and ball cap, and is just a wonderful dad. I am not him, though. He and my two brothers are red-headed gingers, and I have brown eyes and blonde hair and very introverted. My mom also has blue eyes and blonde hair. Well, I've seen, for instance, I have a friend, and he's Irish, and his wife is blonde, and I know both those kids are theirs. And the boy is a redhead, looks like a little Irish leprechaun little dude, and the daughter, blonde hair, just like the mom. So, but anyhow, I know how your story's going to go. My brothers are just like my dad and mom, and I'm just not like them. I'm more of a bookworm, and my brothers are not, but have a lot of common sense. I'm just different. My family is all muscular, and I am more soft. My brothers always have been good to me, and have never picked on me, or not being like them. I've had a great life. Herein lies the problem. Okay, well, so obviously his whole life he could see, I look different. I act different, the brothers are more like the dad, I invited my girl, who is from Virginia, to my family's 4th of July boating excursion. We took my parents' boat out on the Gulf, and they all raised hell. I'm not that wild, but I laugh at my family's antics because they're really funny. My girlfriend had a great time with my family. When the day ended, we went to a hole-in-the-wall seafood place that we all love. While eating dinner, we talked about how my girlfriend gives a lot of blood to the American Red Cross. She said that her blood was A positive. My parents said that they also were A positive too, and my girlfriend said that is the most common blood type. I said my blood type is AB positive. I was told it was the rarest type. My girlfriend said, "How do you have AB positive if your parents both have A positive?" I turned around, looked at my parents, and said, "Huh?" My mother recused herself from the dinner and went outside. How interesting. I think we all realized the truth at the same time. I got chest pains and started to freak out. I got up, went outside to ask my mom, but she gunned the Suburban out of the parking lot and sped away. Well, that's a real mature way to handle an awkward situation, Mom. Thanks. My brothers ran outside after me and grabbed me, and we all had a three-way hug. They kept saying, "It's all good, bro. It's all good." I was breathing heavy and tearing up. Whoa. Not how you expected the fourth to go. So clearly the older brothers, I'm assuming they're older. They knew. I guess they're older. My dad came out and said, "Boys, let's go back inside." He said that our mother was a party girl in college and that they met when she graduated at a bar. She was wild, and I love women who are kind of on the trashy side. This is all his dad saying this. telling you your mom is trashy. Well, obviously he's learned that. He said, when we were very young when we got married, and we both ran around on each other. So both your mom and dad are cheaters, and they're together. It's like, and they're still together to this day. It's like this weird situation where you have couples stay together that they're always doing shit like that, but like in this weird, effed up Jerry Springer drama-filled type of way, they love each other and are still together in spite of all that. I knew she had an affair, he said, and I knew she got pregnant by him. I didn't care and raised you like your brothers. I asked why, and he said that he was no saint, as in this guy's dad is saying he's no saint, and that he loved her enough. He grabbed me and said, "You are my son." We all did a group hug, and he said again, "You are my son." Your dad's a cool guy. A lot of guys would have been like, "Goodbye," but he raised you as his own. Here's my dilemma, SSM. I now hate my mother. I know my dad doesn't care, but I hate her. I now wonder if I will be treated differently now that everybody knows. It's an adage that men marry their mothers, so is my girlfriend like my mom. I'm trying to come to terms with all this, but I cannot. What do I do? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Holy shit, dude. You're not kidding that your whole world turns upside down. I'm sorry this happened. But we can look at this from a whole lot of different angles here. I mean, first and foremost, you said, what would you say here? Right here. You're wondering if you're going to be treated differently now that everybody knows. Well, probably in the beginning. It'll be kind of like probably when somebody you care about, you find out they have cancer or they're dying. And obviously, people act different around people like that. And the person with the cancer dying doesn't want to be treated like that. So that's probably how they're going to react around you. And I would make it clear, don't treat me like I'm freaking dying or something like that. And they'll be doing it because obviously they don't, it's awkward, but it's not meant out of disrespect. So that may happen in the beginning. There'll be some walking on eggshells, but that's about it. Asking about your girl, are you guys get involved with women like their mother? Does that mean she's like your mom? Well, let me ask you a question. Is she a party girl? Was she a party girl? If the answer is no, then okay. But then again, I would still do some digging. She is going into the medical field, and if you haven't watched my channel enough, watch some videos about nurses and other people in the medical field. They have a reputation, so you better be careful there and just pay attention to that. As for the bigger picture here, and you say you hate your mom, well, I can't blame you for being pissed off, but remember something here, and I'm going to try to be fair here. Your dad openly admitted, we all heard this, that he's no saint, that she was a cheater and he was a cheater. I don't know what started first, if she cheated on him and then got pregnant with you, and then as a revenge or whatever, he then started running around, or they were just both doing that. I mean, sadly, I've known couples where bullshit goes on both ways, but they're drawn to each other and stay together in spite of all that. You know? And here's a question. After you were born, did she cut that shit out? And did he cut that shit out? You know what I mean? That's very important. Or have they been secretly having like little affairs all along? I don't know. You know? And here's the other thing. Your dad, and this says a lot about him, you said that everybody loves him, he's a cool dude. You said he's been a great dad to you, and even though he's not your biological father, he still raised you as his own. And that says a lot about him. A lot of guys wouldn't do that. And he loves you and made it clear. He said right there, you are my son. He repeated that, you're my son. That's awesome. You know? Now, your mom, on the other hand, my question is, how has she been towards you growing up? Has she treated you just like your brothers? Has she been a loving mom? Or has she been treating you like a second-class citizen, where you're like Harry Potter living underneath the fucking stairs while your brothers were like that asshole cousin Dudley? You know, I mean, your Harry Potter people out there will get what I'm referring to here. But anyhow, if she's been great to you, that makes it all more, you know, but it's a big mess. And I can only imagine, I can't imagine what you're going through right now. Like, you know, you question everything. Why didn't they tell you? Who else knows? There's been a big secret. Has everybody been, you know, walking on eggshells your whole life? Do your brothers know? Seems like they do, you know? I really think this is something you got to take one day at a time. It might take maybe some therapy, honestly, but I really think you need to talk to your parents individually, then together, and find out everything and make it clear, Mom and Dad, you know, why didn't you tell me? And probably they didn't tell you for two big reasons. One, they were protecting you. They probably were very honestly protecting you and hoping somehow you wouldn't find out, but come on here, you're going to find out anyway, and didn't want you to feel like a weirdo, a second-class citizen. And two, they were doing it to protect themselves. They were doing it to protect themselves so that people wouldn't know in the family and friends and the neighborhood and society and the church and all that your mom was a cheater, and then also your dad was a cheater. You know what I mean? So I think it went both ways. But if your mom truly treated you great growing up, not any different and all that, I think, honestly, you need to hear her. First, I talked to your dad. I said, Dad, I'm a man now, and you've been an awesome dad to me and everything, but I need to know the fucking truth here about everything. Why you didn't tell me, and let him say in his own words, because it sounds like you have reason to believe he'll tell you the truth, man to man. That seems like who he is based on your description here. And I imagine he would. I need to know everything, all the details, blah, 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 blah. And then go to your mom, same thing, and make it clear with your mom. Mom, I need to know the truth here. Because, yeah, Dad admitted that he was no saint either, but neither were you. So I need to know I have lots of questions. And how you handle this is going to determine how the relationship we have. Remember, women respect strength, whether it's a man, a lover, or a son. And you got to make it clear that if you're not going to give me the truth, that's going to be a major problem here. But you got to mean what you say and say what you mean, because, again, women respect strength. But you're new here, so you're probably just learning this now. And I hear what she has to say, because, again, your dad was no saint either. It would be easy, if this was all one-sided and your dad found this out for the first time, and your brothers found this for the first time, it'd be easy all to point the finger at your mom. But also, and I don't know who started this whole thing, like, was your dad a cheater? And then she cheated on him, and then he cheated on her, and round you go. Has there been cheating going on all these years? These are important questions to ask. And at that point, then go from there. But no matter what, your brothers are your half-brothers. Unless there's something else I don't fucking know. Well, no, they'd be your half-brothers. And, and they obviously love you, and they got your back. And you're different from them, obviously, because biologically you're different. And that definitely goes into the whole nature-nurture debate. That's all right that you're different. I just don't want this shocking news to derail the progress you're making in life. And you're in your first year of law school. I had a girlfriend for years when she was in law school and as a lawyer, and I knew that was a very demanding period of her life, as well as other friends. So I don't want this to mess up your law school career. It's going to be tough as it is, let alone dealing with this shit. I don't want this stuff to make you go to the bottle or drugs to cope and deal with this shit. But you're going through a tough time, and nobody will blame you. But I definitely talked to both of them, and then you can determine how it's going to go. Because, again, if your mom was really good to you your whole life, and then you find this out, I don't blame you being pissed off at her, but your dad also was no saint either. So before you write anybody off for life, I at the very least talk to them both, and you're allowed to be pissed off. If you want to yell at them, your dad and your mom, you have every right to. And handle it accordingly. At some point, if necessary, maybe some therapy may help. I mean, that's a lot of people jump to the therapy thing, but it might in this case. And just go from there. Take it one day at a time. Nobody expects you to be healed. But It doesn't sound like to me, like all these years your dad never treated you differently. So that says a lot about your old man. Now, on the other hand, if your mom has always treated you like a second-class citizen, like shit, well, then, okay, then there you go. And you got reason not to deal with her anymore. But remember, it's an interesting predicament here. That's what I think. Now, back to that misogynist shit. Let me make this abundantly clear. No, I'm not a misogynist. I don't hate women. I don't like a-hole women, as I don't like a-hole guys. But that's something a lot of people throw at me here. This is a men's channel. I do help men out, obviously, and I share these stories. And yes, women, girlfriends, wives, fiancés do a lot of shitty stuff to guys. And we're in a world right now that men have become like second-class citizens on multiple fronts, and men need to be aware of reality. What I talk about here is things that goes on. It's reality. Look at your situation. Look what you just found out. That is the ugly truth, the ugly side of human nature and reality. This is stuff that a lot of the movies aren't going to show you, But let me put it this way. I'm very middle of the road on things. I will absolutely acknowledge you got a-hole women out there and you got good women out there. And there are guys out there that are not middle of the road that definitely are way worse than me. Believe me. If I was a misogynist, do you think I would tell you to hear your mom out? Do you think I would question how was she good to you growing up and things like that? No, if I was that way, I'd be all on your dad's side and it'd be all on the guy's side and not even think about giving you the advice to talk to your mom and question if she was very good to you and say if she was good to you, at least hear things out because your dad was no saint either. I'd be all on your dad's side. All right. And on this channel, as you will observe if you watch my videos, I call guys out in their shit just as much as women. I call guys out in their shit. I make fun of them. I slap them upside the head when they're being dumbasses. I'm an equal opportunity smacker here. Well, actually, technically not true in the smacking part because that'd get me kicked off YouTube. But anyhow, no, I'm not that way. But at the end of the day, you can make your own your decision and idea. Make up your mind about me. But I suggest you watch more of my videos. And I think you may like what you see because a lot of people come to me and they think I'm an a-hole. And I guess I am an a-hole, but I'm not a misogynist. That's the thing. So at the end of the day, it's your choice. You can but I talk about reality here, and I'm very blunt. I'm very to the point. And some people really like that, and some people don't. Most people throughout my life, both here on YouTube and my personal life, either really like me or really dislike me. It's rarely in the middle. And I'm used to that. So, bro, I'm sorry about what's happening to you, and your whole life's upside down, but it will get better. But I encourage you to take it one day at a time, focus on school, and talk to your parents when you're ready. And that's what I think you should do. And hopefully some other guys that watch this will be able to help you out. But you're a young guy, your whole life ahead of you, and you can kick ass in this world and do great. Just as best as possible. Don't let this whole situation derail things. And if both your parents are honest with you and your mom was really good to you growing up and your dad as well, obviously, this is a fucked up situation. And you're probably asking, why wasn't I told? Who else knows? But at the very least, I would hear them out and go from there. And that's what I think, So anyhow, no hard feelings about the misogynist thing, and not the first one to call me that, but I encourage you to watch more videos, because I've had a lot of guys that wrote into me and thought I was one way, and then started watching my channel, or had some personal experience in the things I talk about, or the stories I share, and realize I'm not the fucking root of all evil. So, good luck, brother. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think. Please help give this guy some advice if you've been through this shit. For you fathers out there discovered your child isn't yours, or for maybe some of you guys that found out that your dad is not yours, or something like that. Let's give some encouragement, help this young buck out. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.